Hi, and welcome back to a new 5-part series of Cooking with Nick. I'm Nick Rizzo, and during this session, I will show you with a little pre-planning how to produce a 4-course, delicious and healthy meal in under an hour. So sit back, relax, grab a pencil and paper to take notes so you can make this meal at home. My class is ready, and they look hungry, so I have to get started. We'll get started. This is our 5th class, the last one for the fall season. I'm going to be looking at setting up some other classes for the spring. Those of you who are here, I will notify you when those classes, if they, I have to negotiate with the school again to get space and whatever. So, but if you've already enrolled in these classes, I'll let you know about those, either mail or email or however I contacted you before, just so you have a heads up on when they're going to be. What I'm thinking about doing is international themes. So there would be, each week would be a different international food. Still the same thing. You'd have an entree, a side, a starter, and a dessert. So I'm going to try and mess around with some classic dishes and try to, make them so we can do them in under an hour. But we'll work on that. So we'll see how that works. Right now I'm looking at doing a Mexican or Spanish, French, Chinese, an Italian, of course, and an good old all-American one. so I'm looking at, those are the ones I'm looking at doing right now. That may change, but we'll see what happens. Okay, for tonight's meal, this is going to be one of those meals that you can throw together in a really, really short time. So if you're really good and I stop talking, you can get out of here really quickly. So, so I know you all want to get home and watch Grey's Anatomy because, I need to keep my daughter employed. So go home, make sure you watch, at least tape it. So tonight we're going to be starting with, we're going to have a spinach and white bean salad, which is very simple. It's got fresh spinach in it. It's got navy beans, white beans. It's got some red pepper in it. It's got a lemon vinaigrette and some shaved Parmesan cheese on top of it. It's very simple, very light, a nice salad that's going to go with the pasta dish. Okay, the side dish is kind of silly. I'm going to make a 3-cheese toast, garlic. It's not like garlic bread, but it's got 3 different kinds of cheeses on it, and I'll show you how to make that really, really simply. Okay, the dessert we're going to have mini parfaits. It's going to have a layer of cake on the bottom, some fresh fruit, like a faux pastry cream, and then it's layered. Okay, and we're going to start with that. I'm going to make that first because that's got to set a little bit in the refrigerator. I have some over here, but I have 11 or 12 that I made this afternoon that are in the refrigerator already done. So again, you won't have to split these. Okay, and you can make them in these little cups like this. You can use champagne glasses. You could use fancy glasses that you have at home. This is a dessert that you could make way ahead of time. It'll stay in your refrigerator for 6-8 hours. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. You could also make it as one big trifle, in a trifle bowl. Okay, so you can do it that way. I like the individual ones because I don't like to share my dessert. I like to have my own dessert. So this is a nice way to make that. The only problem you have with that is you have to have room in your refrigerator if you have a lot of people coming. So, or if you have weather like we have around here, just put it on your porch, so you don't have to worry about it. So we're going to do that. The entree we're going to have pasta alla Puttanesca, which is a real quick pasta sauce. I'm going to explain to you where it comes from. Puttana is the Italian word for prostitute. Okay, so this is a sauce that, oh please, get over it, cover her ears. So she hears more than that on a school bus. So it's a sauce that the story goes that the women of the evening used to prepare really quickly in between customers. Okay, so it was something that they had to make really, really fast. I don't know how much time they needed off, but it only takes about 10 minutes to make the sauce. The other story is that they used to make this early on in the evening, and they used to put the pot on the windowsill, and the smell used to entice the customers to come in. Okay, so whatever, however you want to prepare it and whatever you want to use it for is up to you. So, but this is a great sauce. And I'll show you how to make it. It only takes about 5-10 minutes to make. And there's different variations you could make on this. My wife likes it. I make the sauce. She likes to put at the very end, you throw in some shrimp, clams, mussels, and whatever kind of seafood you want. At the last minute, you wait for the clams and mussels to open, and then you serve it over pasta, and you have pasta alla puttanesca with fish. Okay, so you can make it all different ways. Okay. So we're going to get started. The first thing I'm going to start with is I'm going to make a couple of the desserts. So let me give you here you go, pal. That's your job. Thanks. So we're going to start with the desserts. So again, what I need to do is I'm going to cut up some fruit. And you could use, different kinds of fruit. I'm going to use some banana. I'm going to use some strawberries. I'm going to use blueberries and a couple of kiwi. Okay, and I find that fruit, that combination of fruit holds up fairly well when you make it ahead. So, so that's what I'm going to use. So I'm just going to dice up all the fruit and just put it in a bowl. And if you don't want to put these together real quickly, you could dice up all the fruit, leave it in your refrigerator. If you really wanted to get fancy with it, you could add a little bit of Grand Marnier to it, which is orange flavored liqueur. And do it in the morning. Let it sit in your refrigerator. Let it macerate. Okay, the Grand Marnier will bring out all the juices in it. Okay, plus you can get your friends loaded while they're having dessert. So but so you could put that in, or you could use a little bit of brandy. Okay, whatever kind of liqueur you want, or you just serve it plain like we're going to have tonight. Okay. So I'm using one banana, and the amount of fruit. I put the amount of fruit on there, but the amount of fruit is going to depend on how many you want to make. So this will make about 6. Okay. So I found these little strawberries today at Tops that actually they're 10 for 10. I mean blueberries. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was looking at the strawberries over here going, okay, strawberries. I picked this up. Okay, the blueberries. So they were 10 for 10. They're $1 a piece. They were in like the fruit section where the snack fruit is, they were actually cheaper than buying the basket of fruit. So plus they keep longer and you can use as many as you like. So these are 1.5 ounces. So I'm going to put 2 of these in here. Okay, so and if you have extra ones, you could have them for snacks. Okay, I have some kiwi. I have 2 kiwi. My son used to work with a guy in his office who loved kiwi, but he used to cut off the ends and then he would just eat it with the skin on it. So I didn't know it was edible, but I guess it is. He's still working, so I don't, But that's coming off for me. I don't like that. You could cut up grapes. You could use, I would not use like cantaloupe or melon, okay, because that would get too watery. So that you don't want to do. You could use apples. If you have some real hard peaches, you could use peaches. Okay. You just want to cut the fruit up so they're all about the same size. And we'll do the same thing with the strawberries or blueberries, whatever I have over there. I think the strawberries. Okay, got those in the bowl. And I'm going to take a paper towel and wipe this up. Because the kiwi are really kind of slimy. Okay, so I have some strawberries, okay, that I washed just before we started, along with my hands. We're just going to dice these up. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a layer of cake, we're going to have a layer of fruit, a layer of the faux pastry cream, and then another layer of cake, and repeat that. And then we're going to top it with some sliced almonds. Just give them a quick chop. Ooh. You don't want to get them really, really teeny. I mean, you want to see the fruit when you put it in there. And you're probably going to use about, a tablespoon or so in between each layer. So you kind of judge to see how many you need. Okay, do a couple more. Okay, so we have our fruit done. Going to make the faux pastry cream. Pick that up. Wash my hand. There's strawberries on the floor. I don't want to. You don't know what's been walking on this floor. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Now the cream that I'm going to make is actually something you could use with any kind of dessert you want to make. You just take some Cool Whip or whatever kind of whip topping you want to use, and actually what we're going to do is dress it up. If you had to make a pastry cream, it would take like forever. You got to do the eggs and let them sit, and then you got to put the saran wrap on it so it doesn't get a skin, and all that stuff I don't like to do. So I'm going to use 2 pudding cups, okay, and I'm going to mix it in with this. And the pudding cups is going to give it a little bit of body, and then we're going to add some flavoring to it, okay. You could do this with chocolate, and this works real well when you're making a trifle. Instead of making all that pastry cream stuff, just use this. And the only thing you don't want to do is you don't want to whip this, because what will happen is this will all deflate, and then you want to keep that airy. Okay, I'm going to use almond extract in here, and put about a half a teaspoon, which would be about a capful. And then you want to fold this in. So what you do is start in the middle and just kind of do like a figure 8, so you fold that in like that. And you'll see, you won't see the pudding anymore, and that's what you're looking for. Okay. So there you go. So that part's done. Our fruit is done. Just give that a stir. Like I said before, if you wanted to make this in the morning, let it go. If you wanted to add a little bit of Grand Marnier or brandy, you could do that. Okay, that part's.
Put any kind of citrus on there, so
no, I'm not going to put anything on it. I'm not going to put anything on that. Okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to use pound cake as the cake. And again, I told you that this is my favorite place is the Dollar Tree to get these pound cakes. These are $1. Okay. Go. You could take the same filling, take the pound cake, and slice it into thirds, the long way. Okay, put one layer down, put a layer of the cream on it, put some of the fruit, put the next cake, put it again, and then make it that way. Then you slice it. Okay, so you could do it that way with the pound cake. You could use this to make a lot of different desserts. For one class we had, I made a pound cake. And it's very expensive to make pound cake, but the original pound cake is called pound cake because it used to be made with a pound of eggs, pound of butter, pound of flour. Okay, so that's how you made the cake. So that's why it was called pound cake. Okay, but when I made it, it was about 9 pounds. I don't know what I did, but it was like, I don't know what I did, but boy, that sucker was about this high. It was like, you know, so you know I don't like to bake, so that's why. I probably mismeasured the eggs or the butter or what, I don't know. I probably put like 4 pounds of butter in it. I don't know what I was doing. So, you know, because I don't like to follow directions, so I had a hard time with that. So, but thought you'd like to know about the pound cake. So, okay, so I'm just going to slice this up. And again, I said if you wanted to, you could slice it into thirds, put the filling in, okay, and you have a nice little cake that way, okay. So I'm just going to dice this up. Okay, put a little bit in the bottom of each cup. I have to make an extra one of these because this is the only part of the meal that I'll eat. Is you know, so I got to make sure I have one for B. Okay. Oops, there we go. Okay, so we got the first layer in. What we're going to do is some fruit. Okay, so we got that, and now we're going to add some of the pastry cream, or cream. Don't ask me why I didn't get a spoon. I'm trying to use this spatula. But see, when you people leave, I have to wash all this stuff. So I try to use as little things as I can. So there you go. So that one container is going to probably make anywhere from 8 to 10 of these when you have that one container of Cool Whip, the 8-ounce container. Okay, so again, we're going to add another layer of cake. And this is the same process you would use if you were making a big trifle. Okay. Pop that down a little bit. We add some more fruit. You want to end up with the cream on top. Okay, I'm just going to stuff this in there because I don't want to end up with any fruit left. This one's mine. Don't eat that. Okay, I'm going to top it again with another layer of cream. You could do the same thing and use, if you wanted to use regular whipped cream, just use regular whipped cream and then just flavor the whipped cream with almond extract when you're whipping it. Well, I'd just say we skip the salad and just eat these first. Okay, so there we go. We have those. I have some sliced almonds. And these have been toasted. So if you want to toast them, you put them in a dry frying pan and then just put them over the heat. Or you can put them in the oven, and just, put them in there while you're doing something else in the oven. But you have to watch them really quick because there's oil in the nuts, and what'll happen is they'll burn. They burn very, very quickly. Okay? So there we go. We have that done. Okay, put these in the refrigerator. And let's see. I'm going to get the garlic toast or the cheese toast in the oven, and then we're going to start on the sauce. Get this cleaned up a little bit here. This out of the way. Let's see. You know what? I'll do the salad, and then you guys will have something to eat. Okay, and then I'll get the toast going. Before you eat the salad, I'll start the toast, get that in the oven, and then we'll be on our way. Give that a quick wash. Again, this salad is just a spinach and white bean salad. Real simple, real easy to make, and very healthy. And it has the lemon vinaigrette dressing in it, so a lot of people, don't like spinach, plain spinach, raw, and the white beans, but the dressing makes it very light. Okay. Again, I'm going to use our mini salad bowl, which, okay, and I always buy, this is like baby spinach that's already washed and whatever, so you don't have to do anything, okay? Now this says on the back of the package, servings per container, 2, okay? But I asked about that at the store. I said, what do you mean, 2 servings? They said, well, if you cook it, you get 2 servings, okay? I said, well, I'm making a salad. I said, how many servings do you? Oh, you should get about 5. I said, okay. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Seems like a lot of spinach to me, so I don't know. I think I'm going to do 2 packages, and then this will be for my wife, and I'll cook it. And because it has tomatoes, it has red peppers in it, it has beans. I'm going to shave this Parmesan cheese on it. Okay, so the beans I'm going to have to rinse. Get these out of here. So I'm going to put these in a little strainer and give them. You could use cannellini beans. You could actually use whatever kind of beans you like. If you wanted to use red kidney beans, you could use that. But we're going to have red pepper in here, so it just gives it a little bit of a different color. That's why I like the white beans. Okay. I brought an extra can, but this 2 of them looks like it's going to be plenty. Remember, if you get cannellini beans are bigger. So when you go to the store, look for the small navy beans, okay? Okay, I'm going to sit these here and let them drain a little bit because I don't want all that water in here. I'm going to use these red peppers. And again, when you're cutting the pepper, just go along the edge and go around. And you'll avoid most of the seeds. Not all of them, but It's easy to get them out. So again, you just go down one edge and then just go right around the outside. These peppers are huge. Okay, now we're going to again cut them into strips. If you really didn't want to do this part, you can go to the salad bar and get them already cut, you know. Or you can, some stores have the peppers, like on a Sunday morning if you go, like they have the vegetables that are left over from the week, and they have them all chopped up like this and put them in a little, a little package, so they're already chopped up for you. And they're the same price. And again, make sure when you're cutting peppers that you're cutting with the shiny side down so that the knife doesn't slip on that, you know. Okay, so we have them all chopped that way. I'm just going to go across them and cut those long pieces in half. Okay, so our pepper's done. And we have our beans. Nice and drained. Throw those in. Get that. I'm going to add some tomatoes. And I'm going to use plum tomatoes because I'm going to do the plum tomatoes the same way I did the pepper. I'm going to go around the outside because then you eliminate all the seeds. Okay, otherwise you have to, you know, you get the bigger tomatoes and there are a lot of seeds in it. So you're paying for the weight of the seeds inside the tomato. The plum tomatoes are your better deal. Okay, so again, you go on the outside. And that whole piece right there, that's all seed. So you just go around the outside. If you wanted to and you didn't want to bother with this, just use cherry tomatoes. Just throw cherry tomatoes in there. I would cut them in half. Okay, so now we just want to cut these up. You can cut them randomly. You don't have to make really teeny little pieces. Throw them in. Another thing you could add to this, if you like, is some red onion. Would give it another little color to throw in there. Remember, if you're going to use red onion, slice them up, put them in some ice water, let them sit there for about 10 minutes. That'll take that sharp edge off the tomato. It won't. A lot of people don't like red onion because it has a sharp taste to it. So if you soak it in ice water, that will take that sharp taste off. It'll be much milder when you eat it. Okay. Okay, I think I have everything in there. Okay, I have some Parmesan cheese. Okay, this is just a block of Parmesan cheese. This is what it looks like before you grate it. Okay, a lot of people don't know what Parmesan cheese looks like. You know, it comes on a big wheel. It's hard. You know, so it's easy to grate. And it has a rind on the outside of this. So what you can do with that is when you get down to that part and you take the rind off, put it in a little baggie, stick it in your freezer. When you're making a soup, you know, throw the rind in. Okay, and it gives it a nice little cheesy flavor to it. So I always have like rinds in my freezer, and if I'm making like a chowder or something else, then you could just take the rind out and throw it in there, and it almost melts. But when you get to the end, you go to serve the soup. Just make sure you don't serve somebody that rind. It looks like it looks nasty. Okay, but you just fish it right out. Okay, so I'm going to take a potato peeler, vegetable peeler, and just go down and make some curls. This is the same thing you can do if you want to shave chocolate, make chocolate curls. This is what you use a potato peeler. And if you didn't want these big pieces of Parmesan cheese, you can just get the shredded Parmesan cheese. Yeah. I like the big chunks. I used to eat this when I was little, and my sister and I always used to go in the refrigerator and eat the Parmesan cheese because my mother never bought shredded. I mean, we always had these big chunks of Parmesan cheese. So one day she told us that if we kept eating those, we would get worms in our stomach. Okay, so then we started eating it more because we wanted to find out if we were going to get worms, So, but they used to tell us some bizarre stuff to try to get us not to eat stuff. So. And I never did get worms, so I don't know. So I keep eating it. Okay, so we have that in there. Now we're going to make the dressing. Let me get this wrapped back up. And again, the dressing is just going to be lemon juice, olive oil, some seasonings. And I'm going to use a juicer. And these tomatoes were fairly large, so I didn't put them all in there. And let's see. So we need to get about a half a cup of lemon juice. So I said 4 lemons, but we'll see how much that makes. Okay. And I'm gonna zest 2 of these because I hate to lose that lemony flavor. So I'm gonna zest them right into the salad. I don't know if is that in the recipe? Does it say to zest the lemon? Yeah. Okay. You could either zest it in here or you could zest it in the dressing, but I'll just do it right in here. Make sure again that you only get the yellow part, not the white. The white is very bitter. Okay, I'm going to roll these so we can get the most juice out of them. Gets a lot of that. You could make this lemon vinaigrette, and if you have extra, just leave it in your refrigerator. When you have salad, you could just, you got to take it out though because the olive oil congeals when it's in your refrigerator. So you got to take it out and let it sit on your counter for a little bit. See how much we got in here. I'll do one more. You can either roll them like that or put them in the microwave for about 10 seconds. Get the most juice out of them. You could make this same dressing using oranges if you wanted to. Okay, make orange vinaigrette. Okay. You should have about half, 3/4 of a cup. that in there. Ooh, there's a little seed in there. Well, so much for that thing. Okay, so I'm going to put, I usually do like a 2-to-1, or 2-to-1 or 3-to-1, depending on what kind of flavor you want, with the olive oil. A little bit of salt and pepper. And I'm going to add just a little bit of sugar to this, okay, because the lemon is really tart. So I'm going to add a little bit of sugar. Now you could leave that out if you don't want the sugar in there. Okay, now I'm going to whisk it. Okay, so that's our dressing. Okay, so what's going to happen now is you're going to have salad. I'm going to get stuff ready to assemble the Puttanesca sauce. I'm going to get the pasta going. Again, what I did before we break here, I pre-cooked the pasta, okay? The pasta that I'm going to use tonight, I like playing around with different shapes with pasta. So this pasta is called long fusilli. If you see fusilli like with Barilla or any of those brands, it's usually those little spirals, those little corkscrews, okay? This is called long fusilli, okay? It's like long spaghetti, but it's all, curly like that. So it's just a different way to serve the pasta. My kids all had curly hair. I have curly hair. My wife has curly hair. So we used to serve this. My kids used to go like this, like they used to. So that's what we're going to have tonight. So I pre-cooked this. Again, when you're making pasta, if you cook it and cook it about 3 or 4 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes less than what it says on the package, put it in a baggie with some olive oil so it doesn't stick together. It'll stay in your refrigerator for about 4 or 5 days. Then when you're ready to use it, boil some water, throw it in. Cook it for about 3 minutes, let it finish cooking, heat up, and you're all ready to go. Okay? So that's what I'm going to be doing. I have the water going over here, and we'll be finishing cooking that. And you're going to have salad now, so we're going to break. You're going to have salad. I'll clean up and get ready for part 2. We've already got the dessert done. We've already got salad done, and it's only 10 after, so we're doing pretty well. Okay? Okay, I'll put that over there, and you guys can eat. Okay. I always feel like Jack and the Giant Beanstalk, when I'm serving this. Okay, salad was good. Nice light dressing. As Beth said, it's a very colorful salad. Looks good. You can serve that at Christmas. It's all red and green. Looks nice. Okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the 3 cheese toast, and just to get you started, to show you how I got started with this, what I did is before you guys got here, I toasted the bread a little bit, okay? And what I did is I toasted it, put it back into the bag, okay? So when you get ready to go, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these, I'm going to brush them with olive oil, and then I'm going to put the cheese on it, and we're going to put them back in the oven. Okay, because basically what we want now is for all the cheese to melt on top of it. Okay, so that's what we're doing. So you could get started on your garlic toast by toasting the bread ahead of time. Okay, and just have it ready to go. So move that out of the way. And what I got, you could use regular Italian bread, whatever kind of bread you like. This was a loaf of round loaf of bread. Okay, and then I had the bakery slice it. Okay, so when you go to the bakery, they'll slice the bread for you, even if you get a long loaf of Italian bread. Tell them how big you want the slices, and then they'll put it through the machine. They could adjust that machine to slice it whatever thickness you want. Okay, saves you all that time of slicing the bread, especially if you know you're going to make garlic bread or whatever. So I told them I needed, 20 slices or whatever out of that. So they just sliced it. So that's good. So I'm going to mix the cheese up. Then I'm going to brush these with some olive oil. Then I'm going to stick those in the oven Then we're going to get started on the Puttanesca, because that sauce, I said, is very, very quick. And we'll get that going real quick. Okay, so to put on top of this, we're going to use some shredded Parmesan cheese. And again, it's shredded, it's not grated. Okay. So we're going to put about a cup. Yeah. What is this? 5 ounces. And then I have some shredded Fontina cheese. Fontina cheese is a soft cow's milk cheese. It's kind of got it's not quite Swiss cheese, not quite Gruyere, but it's a nice soft cheese that melts really well. But you have to buy the block, and then you have to grate it, shred it yourself. Okay, you won't find it shredded. But it's a very, very soft, very fragrant cheese. Okay, I like the Fontina like on pizza. It has a nice different taste. Okay, so we get that in, and I have some shredded mozzarella cheese, and that you can just buy. Make sure you get the stuff that's like fine. You know, it's like finely shredded. And you have to adjust this as to how many you're going to make. You know, I mean, you look and figure out how much you're going to make. Going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. Now remember, the cheese is salty, so you don't want to add a whole lot. Okay, get that in. Some dried parsley flakes. You don't want to use fresh parsley on this because it's going to be in the oven, and if it's on top, it'll burn. Okay, so use the dried, and then we'll mix it in. And this will just give it a little bit of color. Okay, so we got that in, I'm going to add, I have to add red pepper flakes. I just can't do it. I can't cook without them. So I'll put a little in. If you see it on there and you don't like it, pick it off. Okay? Otherwise, just eat it, scream, and we'll know you got it. Okay? So that's basically all that we're putting in there. You just want to make sure it's all mixed up together. You could do the same thing. You could go into the store and get a large flatbread, or a naan bread, and just use that. Toast that a little bit. Just put this as the topping, and then just slice it into strips. You don't have to go through all the bread and all that stuff. So you can do that. Especially, I'll do that like if I'm making something like for the two of us, because a lot of times you buy like a whole big loaf of bread and then it's left, so you make breadcrumbs, you stick it in the freezer, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to brush this is just olive oil in here. I'm just going to brush this. Just olive oil will just give it a nice little taste. If you don't want to brush it, at home I have, with a little spout on it, and then you can just drizzle it over, I guess the oven is up to temperature. I could feel it. Okay, so we got those. I have some more over here. On top. And again, you could get a pastry brush if you want. This is just a paintbrush, okay, for 99 cents from Home Depot or whatever. Or you can go buy a pastry brush and spend $20 on it, or And I put this in and out of my dishwasher, so it holds up. And for 99 cents, you could throw it out. What happened?
You're not going to put a garlic in it?
Oh, did I put the garlic in?
No.
Oh, well, we'll do that now.
All right.
Okay. Right here. Thanks, Darlene. Okay, I'm going to put the garlic cloves in. Again, I'm going to put 3 or 4 whatever, give them a quick smash. And these we want to be fine, so I'm going to put them in the garlic press. Take the skin off.
You didn't want to put it in because you didn't want to have to wash that garlic.
Put that in there. Pampered chef. You want it to be nice and fine, so because you got to spread it around in there. Okay. Let me put one more in. Okay, so get that in. Okay, now what we're going to do is make sure that garlic is spread around in there. Ooh, smell like garlic. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're just going to spread the cheese on these and get them in the oven. Okay. I'm coming. And again, if you make this cheese and you have a lot of it left over, put it in the baggie. That's the oven. This came up to temperature. So that's just put this in a baggie, stick it in your freezer. Okay, and you could use it for some other use. If you wanted to, you could put some olives on here. You could dress them up a little bit. Could actually make them like little pizza. So that bit that I made there, that bowlful made, there's 20 here. Okay, so that made 20 big slices. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to get these in the oven. And all we're waiting to do with these is for them to melt, the cheese to melt. Okay, I have this oven on back here. Okay, pasta's cooking. Start the sauce. Okay, I'm going to put that on medium-high. So we're back up to the Puttanesca. Now I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of this pan. Okay, some garlic. This is a sauce that I made this afternoon. I'm going to add some of that to that. Let me get some garlic going in here. This is the kind of sauce where you really want to have everything ready in place because it doesn't take very long to cook. I'm going to put that in before it comes up to temperature because I want the olive oil to be infused with the garlic. So what you do is you put the olive oil in a coal pan then put the garlic in, and then let it come up to temperature. And then you'll get a real garlically infused oil that way. Okay. I'm going to add one more because that doesn't really look like enough. Depends on the size of your garlic cloves. Give me a heads up, Carolyn, to check this garlic sauce every once in a while because it's starting to melt already. I'm going to put in here, it says anchovies in there, and I know a lot of people don't like anchovies. I don't like fish, so but when you use anchovies and it cooks, it gets like a nutty taste. So what I'm going to use is anchovy paste, okay, instead of the anchovies. So you just get anchovy paste. You're going to put a little bit of that in there. Okay, and you'll get that nutty flavor of the anchovies, but you won't get that the fishy taste. Well, you wouldn't get the fishy taste anyway because the anchovies like dissolve. Okay, I'm going to put in some pepper flakes just so they get infused with the olive oil. Okay, and what you want to do with that, with the anchovy paste, is smash it down so that it melts. It melts right into the sauce. And the anchovies would do the same thing. The anchovies are so thin that you stir them in there, they would dissolve, and you would never see them in there. Okay, let that sit a bit, and let me go get the other stuff. Got capers, oregano, can of diced tomatoes. I'm going to let that go a little bit until you can smell the garlic. And because we have a few more people, I'm going to add just a half a can instead of a whole can of the diced tomatoes. Okay, so that's beginning to brown a little bit. Can you smell the garlic? Can you smell the garlic?
Check the toast.
Hmm?
Check the toast. Check the toast.
That looks good. Okay, give me about 3 more minutes. We'll be ready to go. We should have the sauce going by then. Okay. Okay, I'm going to add the tomatoes. I'm going to drain this a little bit. These are Kalamata olives, which you can get in a jar or you can get at the salad bar. They have a very, very distinct taste. They're a lot different than regular black olives. Okay. Give that a quick stir. We have capers. Capers are actually a bud of a plant. It's the buds. Okay, put those in. You want to be, when you're using capers, you want to be real careful about using salt because these are in a brine, a vinegar brine, and they could be very salty. Okay, we're going to add some oregano. Now we're not using Italian seasoning because that's got other stuff in it. This is just plain oregano.
Basil instead of oregano?
Hmm?
Can you use basil instead of oregano?
Well, basil has a totally different taste. That's why if you use Italian seasoning, it has basil and oregano and thyme and a bunch of different stuff in it. So you want to be careful that you use that. Okay, we're going to put some fresh parsley on the top. Okay, have some Kalamata olives. Has anybody never had Kalamata olives? Come taste these here. Because they taste quite a bit different than regular olives. Come here, Patty. Anybody else? Have you had them? You don't want to try them? Get up here, try this. Where's your spirit of adventure? You came here to learn new things. Now try that olive. My son-in-law does not like olives, so I'm training him to eat olives. You know, I said, how could you marry into an Italian family and not eat olives? So he's very adventurous, so he's trying. I'm going to take these Kalamata olives. They taste a lot different than... although they say they're pitted, I like to run the knife through them a little bit because every once in a while you'll come across a pit. So I'm not going to really chop them. I'm just going to run the knife through to make sure they don't have pits in them. Okay, and then throw them in. And again, these are very salty, so you want to be careful that you don't add salt. Okay. And I guess those ladies of the evening must have made a lot of money because these are very expensive. So, you know, unless they had olive trees hanging outside on their balcony, I don't know what.
Hey, check the toast.
Hmm? Okay. That's done. I'll take that out in a second. This sauce is just about done. Okay, what I'm going to do is, this is sauce I made this afternoon. I'm going to add this because we have twice as much pasta here. If I can get the top off. And again, you could make this and freeze it. I had 3 mushrooms left in my refrigerator this afternoon. So if you taste the sauce from this afternoon, you get a mushroom, then you get a prize. I guess. Let me take this out. Okay. That's done. Okay, that's all done. Okay, I'm going to drain the pasta because the sauce is all done. Okay, as I said before, if you wanted to, you could add, at this point, you could throw in clams, mussels, some raw shrimp, and some raw fish. Put the cover on it and let it all steam. And then in about 3 minutes, you know, you watch the mussels will open, the clams will open, and then you can serve this right over pasta. Okay? This out of the way. I'm going to drain the pasta. I'm going to put this in this container so that at the end we don't have to wash it. Okay. I went to find a colander in here this afternoon when I brought some stuff up, and the colander is about this big. You could drain like about 4 noodles in it. So I said I have to bring the colander up. Woo. Hope you're hungry. I made 2 pounds of this. Okay, I'm not going to rinse this. I don't know if it's all going to fit. Well, don't know. Hope you guys are hungry.
So you don't usually rinse your pasta, huh?
Usually when I make the sauce, the pasta would go in here, okay? And you mix it in that way, rather than just pouring it on the top.
Sorry, but you don't rinse your pasta with water
No, I take it right from the pot
all the time?
and put it right in.
No, but I always rinse mine. I think that's what I do wrong.
Well, if you rinse it, what happens is the sauce doesn't stick to it because you're rinsing off all the starch.
Okay.
Okay. Plus, if you take it from the pot and put it into your sauce, and if your sauce thickens up, then you have some of the water left from the pasta, and then you could save that water and add it to thin out your sauce. Okay. So I'm just going to pour this on top. Give this a stir.
It smells good, though.
I have some grated Parmesan cheese over there if you want to add some Parmesan cheese to it. Okay, I'm going to move this over here. You guys can eat. And the bread's over here, so grab yourself some bread, grab the pasta, and you're all set to go. How was it? Was it spicy, or you could adjust that sauce. If you like it spicy, or a little more hot pepper, or however you want to do that. A little more oregano. You have to play with that sauce for a while until you get it the way you want. I just like it because it's real quick. It's a very quick sauce to make. Okay, so what we have left now is dessert. These are the ones that I made this afternoon. And these are the ones that we made during class. So when you're ready, well, that was our class for this session, and I hope you enjoyed watching and learned something along the way. If you could not attend the class and are interested in the recipes, you can email me at nrizzo@roadrunner.com. I would like to thank Chautauqua Lake Central School, Mrs. Amy Redman, all my class participants, and my wife Kathy for her support in my many crazy endeavors. Thank you.